that will always be ageless. I'm the type of dude that will always feel shameless. I'm the type of dude that they say is fucking heinous, cause I'm the type of dude that you know is fucking dangerous.
Hello everyone and welcome to Nerd Talk, where we find out what makes you nerdy, and today I have a special guest. Say hello.
Hi everybody, my name is John from Homeless News.
Thank you for being with us today and everything. I appreciate it, John. So, I wanted to know a little bit more about you because it might sound weird, but I do feel like you're one of the few internet people right now that I feel like you're really trying out there and everything, and I really appreciate you doing what you're doing. And so, can you...
Pretty appreciative.
No, I know that sounds like a weird compliment, but there's so many big YouTubers out there right now that I feel like it's just all corporations and sponsorships and everything, and I feel like you're one of the people that...
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I guess because I haven't really had anybody reach out to me like a sponsor or anything like that. Because I guess I'm embarrassing on that.
Well, I'm not saying people sold out. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like whenever I see, like, a big channel and it's just like, oh, by the way, this is who I'm advertising right now, I'm just like, come on, just get to your content. That's just the way I feel. I'm not trying to be rude to those people.
Oh, yes. I like to see a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of already gotten everything I want out of the video when I watch stuff, so I want to see advertisements that go for it.
But, I appreciate you being able to talk today. So, can you talk about where you grew up and everything? If that's at all possible?
I grew up in Central Florida.
Okay. And I know you moved to California and everything. I tried to reach out to you before then and everything, but I appreciate you talking to me now and everything. I just want to know your...
Only just recently all this stuff.
Yeah, I can see some collection, and you probably can't tell it behind me, but I got a couple of posters of stuff I like and everything, but there's like 500 bookshelves right in front of me you can't see with all the stuff that I have on it, and everything's ridiculous. But, do you think you'll be able to get something like it now, or is that just irreplaceable for you?
I could probably get another one, but I don't have space for it, so I'm kind of happy
with just that. Yeah.
I finished it. Yeah, I'm trying to finish to get a couple more to my dad's supplies. Once I get that taken care of, I'll show you this one.
That's cool. And I know that this is a weird question that I asking, but when I first discovered your channel, I saw the tagline, "Homeless movies, second-hand films to be appreciated a second time." And I do think that's an interesting idea and everything. Can you tell me where that came from?
It kind of just popped in my head when I was doing my first American movie for my students about a cartoon that the original idea of the show I was getting different stores, marketplaces, garage sales, all these kind of places. So I was going to buy these movies and they wanted. I originally called the show Will Hunting, but I decided to change it to Homeless Movies after I kind of thought about it. I'm like, I don't want to go that over and that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I was just thinking about it. I was like, I just want to get home movies and watch them.
Yeah. Like I connected with it personally because most of my collection, believe it or not, are all used. Like most of the stuff I own comes from like used stores, flea markets, and all that stuff. And people are like, "Why do you buy all these used movies?" I'm like, "Because no one else loves them."
Exactly. Just because I found a movie that somebody else decided to go with, or just decided this isn't good. I don't want this. It doesn't even
Yeah.
I have a lot of like weird things. I had stacks and stacks and stacks of movies. Stuff that nobody wanted. A lot of it was just terrible. And I decided that I was going to play again. So I said, hey, why is it? A lot of the stuff I did 75 cents.
Yeah, doesn't mean it cuts down the cost of production quite a bit. I'm pretty sure everything for your end and everything. I heard this was a thing that you did, but what'd you say? No, I was just gonna say.
It's a good thing that I wasn't spending like hundreds of dollars on movies. I could get like 20 movies at $8 for $20.
Can you tell me about the? It's not going to be like your rarest find, but your most interesting find that you've ever found at one of those sales.
Probably the most interesting find is a movie that I did on that stuff. It's like a 5th or 6th movie actually. And it's just this weird. It's the first. It's the only movie that an actual movie was first. It's just so wild. It's like this guy directed the movie and started with. It's all the same stuff that Eric does, the same stuff that Green does, the same stuff that Tommy Wiseau does. Nobody knows who it is. Probably just
Yeah, I just feel like that's such an interesting.
I have people that are from that who watch it and they're like, we know this guy. He's a crazy person. It's just like this very regional sort of.
Oh, I bet that was fun to find that out. Did you know if he made anything else besides that movie?
He did. He's made a couple of other movies that I just haven't been able to get my hands on. He's made a vampire movie, he's made a gangster movie, and I may be incorrect, but I think he also made a vampire gangster movie.
What happened was the first one was a bridge movie, and then the next one was like, oh yeah, that's a sequel to this movie. And you're like, wait, what? This is a shared universe? He's like, yeah, I was Marvel before Marvel. Or something like that.
And put them all together and just see what it is. He also did the entire soundtrack to that because he thinks he's done really good to see what's wrong. It's the same as Comfort songs, Comfort songs, and soundtracks. So he does all his own music, all his own acting, all the writing, and I think it's a step further than like, it's like getting an Eric instead of touring like Europe and Europe.
Yeah. Speaking about him, Daddy Derek, did you ever get into some legal battle with him? Because I know some people like I Hate Everything got into trouble with him and everything. Did you ever face the inference wrath with Daddy Derek?
No, because I don't think I was ever a big enough channel for him. Like, I think one of the big reasons that I Hate Everything sucks got in so much trouble because they were really the first ones that was going. They were also a large channel with a large audience. Daddy Derek hadn't quite gotten there's really no such thing as back publicity.
Yeah.
So we didn't realize that by these people completely ripping his movie apart, that he was actually promoting his video out to movies. But he hasn't reached out to me or said anything to me. I did try to buy a copy of that superhero, quasi sort of sequel of that Save the Kids, but I accidentally put the wrong shipping address on it.
Oh.
And I emailed it, and I said, before it was charged, before it was shipped, I'm like, hey, can you just send it to this address instead? Because I know he does all his own shipping. And if he looked me up and he saw that I was doing, figured I was probably going to do a review on it, and he just canceled it.
Ouch. Yeah, sorry to hear that. And now, I know he's been kind of quasi-infamous within the review sphere, but another group of movies you did that a lot of people have been gaining traction with is the Neil Breen films as well. What have you had anything happen with Neil Breen? Because I've heard he's actually pretty good with critics and everything, reviewing his movies and everything.
He has a pretty good attitude when it comes to people watching his films, because he's kind of become a joke now, which is something that I really noticed with this film. A lot of the jokes are so bad that they're not funny. It feels like he's intentionally doing bad films. He's realized that he could put a minimum amount of effort into making it. Millions of people will buy it. He'll make tons of money. He doesn't have to try.
Sounds like yeah.
So Twisted Pair.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like I know this is an old one, but the guy who made Birdemic, like how he realized everybody loved his movie for being bad, so when he made the sequel, he kind of did the same thing again, and people are like, catch.
With James Gwynn, who directed Birdemic 2, it was just filled with in-jokes. It's intentionally bad. It's not fun to watch. Another movie that had the same problem is Samurai Cop 2. Because it was a Kickstarter-funded movie. It was made like 30 years after the original.
Mm-hmm.
It's just filled with crappy joke after crappy joke after crappy joke about the first movie. It's not fun when it has no soul. It's really hard to explain this. A movie that's trying, a bad movie that's trying, that has heart, is just doing the best with what it has. It's using a lot of resources. It's trying to make as good of a movie as it can. It just turns out to be crap. It's more fun for me to watch, and I think for other people as well. When it's just like, I'm going to take all your money and produce a piece of garbage. You're just going to take it because that's fine. That's no fun.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you're talking about it, kinda, but you can feel the effort, I guess, behind the camera. You can see where he's like, I want to make a Hollywood movie, I want to make a blockbuster. And where the sequel, it's like, hey, people like this, so let me continue it. And everything.
Yeah, with Neil Breen, the first 4 movies, like all the way up to the pass through, you actually can sort of feel like he's trying to get some sort of message across. He's not doing it very well, but he was trying. Twisted Pair is just it's boring. It doesn't make any sense. Like, even more so, like, it has no real plot. Nothing actually happens or gets resolved. It's like, it feels like he's tired, like he's not trying. That kind of makes me sad.
I didn't buy it, but when I saw somebody review his film school class that he tried to do and everything, and every time I saw like a clip from that, it looked like he was so done and everything. I was like, dude, do you even want to be here?
He's pushing it. I think stepping this point. Like, I don't know how much longer he's going to keep going. Like, I want him to last forever. I want him to make all the movies in the world because I do enjoy watching them.
Yeah.
But it is evident that he's not the spry 40-year-old that he wants to be now.
I heard he was in Carpenter. What was it like? buildings and everything? Like he made buildings and everything in Las Vegas and everything?
Yeah, I've heard different stories about whether or not he's like in real estate or like he's an architect. And at some point in his like late 30s, early to mid 40s, he just decided, you know, I'm gonna
Yeah.
just grabbed the camera and shot. To be honest, I admire that kind of gumption. You like just pick something and run with it, you know, all in on it. Damn the concept.
Yeah, that's why I love it too. But do you have any background in film? Like, I heard that you did like a riff theater, kind of like Mystery Science 3000 and everything. Did you have any like involvement with it?
So I have been making videos and doing film kind of stuff since I was about 13.
Mm-hmm.
I was in TV production classes through all of high school, and I originally wanted to go to college for film, but things just didn't work out, and it's just really that I just dropped off the face of the planet. But when I was 30, I saw part of the reason I started doing that is because I was part of the local rock and roll picture show cast for about, off and on for about 10 years. And a lot of that show never played to one, never played one, is shouting riffs and yelling crazy fun things during the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very Mystic Science Theater. It's a lot of inserting jokes, making fun of the movie, everybody else around, performing the movie in front of everybody. It's a really good time. And just kind of caught hypnotism when I watch a movie. It doesn't matter how mysterious it is, it doesn't matter how sad it is, it doesn't matter how good or bad it is. It's really, really hard to know what movie you're it's like one of those movie constantine jokes during the movie. I've tried to calm it down over the last couple of years because I feel it does not like it. But when we get home, we watch it. I would love that something else. I don't
Because I went to school for movies, believe it or not. Like, I want to professionally go and make films and videos for people and everything. And but whenever someone's like, when I watch a bad movie with somebody, people are like, "Oh, don't you think it's kind of weird to watch a bad movie?" I'm like, "No, no." I'm like, they're like, "Why?" And I go, "Because you get to see like the intent, but not the execution." I guess is the best way I can describe it. Yeah.
That's why I think that intentionally bad movies are the worst kind.
Yeah.
Movies that aren't fun to watch because they feel like they're wasting money. A lot of the things with like Daddy Karen and the work voiceovers, where do they get the funding for these movies? It's just crap money. There's like somebody is producing it, somebody is sending it, but wouldn't that money waste it on this crap? I would better utilize helping actual good of the artists. There's a good argument to be made that this is wasting. So that's why I feel like the movie at least has intent to be not always it's still fun, it's still beautiful and fun. Watching it with friends, a lot of it, you're creating these good memories, these emotions. That's a good movie. But we have a movie that's intentionally bad, it wastes everybody's time, money, their emotions, and that's not
Yeah. You're talking about like, I will say this much: I grew up and I'm still living in like a rural area. Like we're not like connected to any like big theater chain or anything like that. But I remember the first time I went to see one of those movie screenings, and it was for The Room. Never heard of the movie before or anything like that. And someone's like, "Oh, you gotta go see The Room with me," and I was like, "Okay." And everybody, they started passing out spoons to people, and I was like, why are they giving us spoons? And then they got to the moment where the spoons came into play, and I was like, oh okay. But
Yeah, I have been with like several people for bringing a room to Tampa.
yeah,
In terms of like being the first time my friend group to actually talk about it, and then because it was with Rocky, we have shows, we showed it in there, and we're exposing people to it. I have been blamed for that. I actually got to meet Tom Wiseau and Greg Cicero at a screening of the room a few years ago. And those two guys are fully accepting of whatever they have made in this movie. They are fully happy with the legacy that they've created in this crap. That's when I got there. They were handing out spoons, they were giving away cake with footballs. I had a hat, a salon job, like a poster. So they're more than happy to know something that's initially supposed to be.
because when I was watching it, I don't know if it was in Tommy's intention, but it felt like a soap opera episode. For whatever reason, when I first watched it, I thought it was like a soap opera. Because Mom was like, I got cancer.
That was 100%. That was 100% his intention. He wanted everything to feel like this great American drama. It's like horrible black comedy. This guy falls in love. His best friend is sleeping with his fiance. It's just like this whole love triangle. And all this crazy stuff happening. This lady's got cancer. And this kid's stealing drugs. And like an entire season of soap opera all mixed in. It's a miracle that there's something you just walked up and said, I have amnesia. Because that's the kind of thing that happens.
Yeah. Going on with what soap operas happening now, because my mom still watches them. I've seen one where a guy got turned into a vampire, and I was like, this is supposed to be about doctors, right?
That sounds so amazing. The original, I don't know if you ever saw The Disaster Artist, the movie based on the book of the making of it, with Franco in it. And I think that they addressed the role of Johnny, the character that Tommy was supposed to play later, is supposed to be some kind of a little vampire.
Oh god. No, I did not get the chance to read the book yet, but when the movie was being premiered and everything, I wanted to read the book beforehand, but I never got around to finding a copy or anything, which really sucked.
I got a signed copy for Christmas one year. Find a copy.
This is going to sound like a weird question to ask, but is there anything like your plans for this upcoming year? I know like 2020 has been like a hard year for everybody and everything. What's your plans for next year?
My big plans for this upcoming year is to try and just do more content. I have a tendency to maybe put out some ones that where people just try to really go hard and fix that. And then I have more time to work against it. And so for next year, I really want to just kind of get more eyeballs on the channel. I want to put out stuff that people want to see. I realized maybe about a year ago that when we make fun of movies that nobody wants to watch, nobody looks for reviews about them. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see movies that they've never heard of. YouTube algorithm gods, praise, people actually making people. So it's one of the reasons that I started doing it.
Yeah.
People have sort of a name recognition for their brain. When they find one review, they're going to want to watch the other ones. So it's really important that I get all of those done. So there's another one that I can get on top of it, do it, and I can manage those other ones. So for the next year, I really want to try and do more popular bad movies to the really weird stuff. You know, kind of sounds bad, but I kind of want to bait people in like these really good bad movies, and then I want to expose them.
Yeah, I get you. Like, the YouTube algorithms, basically, like, what's popular will be popular. And if it's obscure, it'll be obscure.
Right, so I'm trying to do this thing because I have a stack of movies that people have bought me off my Amazon wish list.
Mhm.
Where I'm going to try and go back and do a movie that people have wanted me to do, that I just don't have a copy of yet. I have scripts written for the original Doom movie. I have a script written for Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Okay.
I have a script written for Cool Cat Kid Superhero that I really want to do. This is a follow-up to what I did the other Daddy Dare movies that I've done. And I want to eventually get to Birdemic. I've set out this goal that if I can reach 5,000 subscribers, I will be able to my all-time favorites. I won't wait for season. But I'll do it with love.
Yeah. I'll try to help you reach that goal as best I can.
The big thing I really want to do is I just want to bring more people to the channel. I want to keep growing and getting better. I would like, if possible, to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of next year. I don't know if that's going to be possible because I need to be hard on myself. It's possible. I'm still blown away that there's 2,400 people on there right now. It grows every day. I haven't posted it. It's really fantastic that I can express how
Yeah. And as one of your, I started watching you when you were around, I think, 800 subscribers. So you can imagine how much seeing that number grow and just being the channel host for that channel, just seeing that number reach that number, you were like, how many people are watching me again?
Yeah, it was like 9,000. Why is there 1,000? Why is it still growing? 1,200, 1,300, 1,500, 1,800, 2,000, and now it's more than that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that funny. But apparently other people do, and that's enough.
Well, like I said, I appreciate your content a lot and everything. It brings a smile to my face, especially when I need it and everything. It really does help.
That's really all I want to do, because when I was going through some rough times in my life a few years ago, I started watching Nostalgia Critic, like a lot of other YouTubers, especially this one. And seeing back when Channel Awesome was something that was worth watching.
Yeah.
Seeing him, seeing Brad Jones, and Allison Kirkler, which he made Lupa. Those creators made videos that made me feel like I wasn't going for stuff alone and entertaining me. There were hours and hours and hours of content I could watch it repeatedly over and over again. It just made me happy. I had this quality. That was one of the reasons that I wanted to start this channel, because I wanted to give a place for people who really like weird things, but may not necessarily have someone to talk about it, or someone to experience it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things in the world is sitting on a couch, watching that movie, and just everybody making fun of it together. It's now becoming this whole shared memory. It's not even about the movie, it's about the people.
Yeah.
So when I started making videos, I started to realize that was one of the things that I enjoyed the most. Was creating this space, this community for other people who feel weird or isolated, but actually feel like there is someone out there who appreciates us. We may not have all the same things in common, we just have one thing in common, which is that Daddy Derek is ridiculous and was enjoying.
Yeah. Now, This might. Do you have any hobbies beside? I know your main thing is not reviewing movies all the time, but is there something like you really enjoy doing, like music or books or anything like that?
I'm a big time video game addict for as long as I can remember. Um, as I've gotten older, I haven't been able to really sit down and play as much as I wanted to, or at least not as much as I did in college. I was playing football around when I was working out. Now, maybe an hour or two a day. I have nothing to do on the weekends. I might play some. I played guitar throughout high school and college. I enjoyed that a lot. I went a lot of things in my actual life to my life, work, social life, career, that kind of thing. I went a lot of that to my hobbies. I'm trying to get concerted effort to get back in. This channel was part of it. When I was 30 years old, I was like rock bottom creatively. I hated my job. I needed something about it.
This podcast is trying to do the same thing for myself, which is basically get back my creative spark, because it might sound weird to say this, but this whole year has been like a rocky patch for me in a lot of ways, and so doing this, it's like, hey, I'm trying to give myself something to cheer myself up, do something to bring back the creativity spark and everything. Like, I always joke around about it, but I always said I was the mad scientist in class. I would take the two sparks and be like, yes! Mash them together and try to make electricity between my two fingers.
Right. It's there's something to be said if you're a creative person. Just inherently creative person. For such a long time without being able to express that. It's still a person. And so finally have given myself a platform where I can express my ideas and my weird stupid thoughts sometimes, and people enjoy that. It's such a good feeling to know that I can not only express myself but also be appreciated for how wonderful.
Yeah, like I said, you're one of the people that helped me contribute to that. And you were talking about Ascaris Lupa. One of the things I remember watching for her, and I don't know if you would consider doing it yourself, but the Tremors movies. I know they're not considered bad movies, but I feel like that would be an interesting venture.
Yeah, the Tremors movies are lots of fun. I tried to step into that like horror movie genre a little while ago, back in the movies,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't do very well. I don't know if it's good. Respect they deserve. You don't never know. Really not. But that's not the point. There's nothing to say that I can do something like that. I just have to find a way. She also did some species or something like that. I've watched them.
But trying to think here. Oh, do you have any advice for anybody who wants to take the leap into YouTube or anything like that?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. It doesn't matter how good you are or how bad you are. Your first video is going to suck. Just period. I didn't watch my first video anymore. I finished out because it's like a 15-minute video. I spend the first 6 minutes of it just talking about myself. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows who I am. They wanted me to get to the top. I sped through it so fast. The editing is so bad because I thought that after being a professional photographer for a few years, high school, I was just thinking, I wasn't. That was okay. It took a really long time get good at it. You start.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it, just do it. Do it as often as you can after that. Because the more you do it, the better you're going to get. The only person I know of who
Well, I just want to say thank you for being with us today. Is there anything you want to talk about in particular?
no, I just really appreciate it. This is like the first podcast that I've done, so I really appreciate you having me on. If anybody wants to check it out, youtube.com/HopefulToys, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
I'll provide all the links for you here on this. Well, again, thank you so much for being with us today, and I hope to see what you have in store for us coming up in the future.
Thank you. Thanks, man. I should have everybody out the next couple of days.
Alright, see you.